everybody. I'm Rebecca from Thieving Otter Farm,
And I'm Leah with Southern Biophiliac Urban Farm.
and we are two chicks Coturnix bringing you the scoop
Not food.
on Coturnix quail. So we have a special guest today. We have Jennifer from Bryant's Roost with us.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys?
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Jennifer, I think you were our very first guest that we had when we started the show.
I think so too, yeah.
Yep, that sounds about right. Yep. It's been a while ago, hasn't it?
It has. Yeah. So it's great to have you back on. Today we want to talk about Jennifer's project, Quail Mania. And this is your third year doing Quail Mania, right?
Nope, second. It's the
Second year. Okay.
But third year is already in production, so it's already on its way.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a machine at this point.
Well, what is Quail Mania?
Well, it was David's brainchild, and he came up with the idea a few years ago, but I really didn't know how to implement it. And finally, one day, 3 o'clock in the morning, it comes to you what it is. And it's a virtual summit all about quail. And we got as many people as they want to come and talk about how they do quail and how it works for them. And we put all these videos together, and it's free for people to watch and learn and hopefully leave the weekend with goodies from the sponsors and the giveaways and enough confidence that they can go forth and raise the quail themselves.
I love it. Okay, so you said the weekend. So it's not an ongoing thing. When is this scheduled for?
So the free part of it is February 14th, 15th, and 16th, which is, yes, Valentine's Day, but it's set for President's Day weekend is how that came to be. So it would be a 3-day weekend. And the free part of it is those 3 days. You can show up and watch all the videos those days. If you want to buy the all access pass, then you would get access to the videos for the entire calendar year, plus all the extra goodies that the speakers and poultry nerds has put out there.
Ooh, tell me more about these extra goodies.
Always need
extras. So you put in an ebook, and Leah's got coupon codes in there. I have an ebook in there, and Poultry Nerds has the Incubation Masterclass in there, and there's other speakers who have put in ebooks. Some other Bree, the poultry management app that she has.
Oh yeah.
She's doing, I'm not going to quote the percentage off right at this very second, but it's a significant percentage off for her app. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And Christian from Undique is doing Rent a Hatch, a significant piece off of that in his his brainchild, the thinking, I'm going to say it wrong and I feel bad for saying it wrong. But the total of the value is like $800 and the cost is $57 for all of that.
So if people wanted to, and we'll get more into like the different topics and all that stuff, but since we're on the subject of the free versus the all-inclusive pass, where do they buy the all-inclusive pass if they want all the bells and whistles and the cool stuff?
Well, they would go to quailmania.com and sign up. Signing up is free, and you will receive an email after you sign up that says, but wait, there's more. And you can come back and buy the all access pass. And if you want to use a coupon code, one is Rebecca and one is Leah. We'll use y'all's coupon code since it's your show. And y'all and all the listeners, and they can do like a little contest. Who's more popular, Rebecca or Leah? Who's gonna use the coupon codes, right? And but that gets you 25% off the $57. actually.
I'm in charge of putting the coupon codes up on the screen, so I might just,
It's
let-
Rebecca or Leah.
yeah.
So, and if you don't like either one of those two, then just use Jennifer. So, but no, really, we want the whole purpose of it is to get everybody as much education as they can. But it's not just like me telling you how to do it. It's 15 different people doing videos this
Wow.
year. It's 2 days this year. And so it's for beginners all the way to people who want to scale up to business level. And so it's a good thing. And then there's going to be giveaways in between each speaker. We have sponsors. Hatchin' Time's a sponsor. Valley Hatchery's a sponsor. And Parcel Path Shipping Platform is a sponsor.
Before you said those, you should have said, but wait, there's more.
That's coming. There's always more coming.
Well, that's phenomenal. I
Yeah.
love that. So what are some of the subjects that the speakers are going to be covering?
Well, we always start off with incubation because, in my theory, what comes first, the bird or the egg? So I always say the egg. So we start off with the egg and incubation, but then we just kind of move through like brooding, growing out, you're doing selection, and then like what to do with the birds after that. So do we want to scale up to eating egg business or hatching egg business or pet food? Leah's doing pet food. What can you do with all the manure? How do you track it? How do you, just so much stuff. I'm doing shipping, like how do you ship eggs and scale it that way? Yeah, it's just all over the board. Craig Beam is on there. He's doing the social media side of it, like how to move into social media. Yeah, it's a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sounds like you're covering a huge range of topics.
It is, and we've got quail companies coming on that aren't super active on Facebook, so it's good to have like new social, from the social media standpoint, like different people coming on, giving their viewpoints on how they did it. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's so many people that have, you know, grown a business or started raising quail or have a homestead that have come from, all different viewpoints and all different reasons for getting into it. That would be really cool to see some people that you wouldn't normally see if you're not hanging out on, Facebook all the time.
Well,
Or
and
the other way around.
It's fun for me because I actually get to learn a whole bunch of stuff. So one of the coolest things that got to happen was I invited Gary Landry, like the original importer of all the buttons.
Yes.
Okay.
That's awesome.
And he's like, I don't know what to say. And I was like, well, do you want to do it like interview style? Okay, we can do that. I was like, okay. And then he's like, well, I'm a night owl. And I was like, ooh, okay. When he met Night Owl, he was like 8 to 11 p.m., which is really late for me. But golly, I had him talking for 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And, the speakers are only doing like 45, 50 minutes. So we had to chop that down to 45 or 50 minutes.
Goodness.
But I got 3 hours worth of education.
So cool.
That's really cool. Now, Gary, I think he did some Coturnix quail imports as well.
Yeah. Oh, he had all the juicy stuff. And that is not in the video. That is all locked right here.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and book our lunch meetup now. I gotta hear all this.
Yeah, he is such a he is so much fun to talk to. He is just a happy little guy, but
That's
gosh,
awesome.
he had stories going back from before I was born, and I'm old. So, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But so he's doing button quail, everything you ever wanted to know about button quail.
Okay.
And
He
we've
literally
got
wrote the book on button quail, right?
Yeah,
literally
I
wrote
have
the
one of
book.
his books. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's laying right here on my desk.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, and then we've got Will Braidfoot's going to be on there talking about California quail.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of information.
Wow. I was already excited. Now I'm even
I
more
know.
excited.
Now I'm a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it February yet?
Yeah. So it's coming. It's coming. And I've got we've actually got it all on the website this year. We learned so much the first year, like first that people wanted it. And second, like I didn't know how to do it. I mean, you know, Rebecca, that I am not tech. I do have
I don't know.
zero tech background.
You've worked me through a lot of tech issues. So
You probably.
But I have
you have more
zero
than
tech
one.
background, okay? But I have managed to build this all on the website. We're going to have live chats, live giveaways. Yeah.
wow.
I mean, I put it all together on there. It has taken me like 8 months, but I figured it out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I really am. So what makes Quail Mania different from just like random social media advice? I mean, I could get on Facebook and go to a group and ask a question, right?
You get 50
Mhm.
different answers.
But do those people even own quail? So so let me tell you a story. So when I was looking for people to be speakers for Quail Mania, I was like, where do I go? And Carrie said, well, try YouTube. So I'm on YouTube and I just put in Caternix Quail, and I don't know what 1,000 channels come up talking about
Yeah.
quail or something crazy. So I'm watching them. And I go to their websites and then I go to their Facebook. They don't even have freaking quail. They don't sell them. They're just talking about them for clicks and for
Yeah.
views and for
Wow.
everything else. And I was like, well, this is going to be harder than I thought. So yeah, and so Pinterest, same way. A lot of that stuff is AI. It's just garbage, you know. And I personally won't spend any time on a website that has all those pop-ups and you can't read them
Yeah.
anyway. I'll just
Right.
X right out of it. I go back and go somewhere else. And so social media, if you ask a group a question in a group, you're going to get 100 different answers.
Mhm.
Am willing to bet half of them may not even have quail or have had them for 5 minutes. Um, and I mean, I'm not an expert. I mean, I text you all the time asking questions, and I text Leah about my rabbit questions. And so I'm not an expert. And so I thought, well, we'll just get different opinions, you
Yeah.
know? And so there's actually a couple people doing selection this year. You know, the first year I tried to have everybody kind of spread out, but then I realized I was like, everybody's eye is different. You
Yeah.
know,
Very true.
so if you do selection and Alexander Doss does selection, they're going to be completely different. You
Mhm.
know, and the way you guys deliver your information is actually quite different. So
Yeah.
you know,
Somebody might present something in a way that is better for one person's way of learning, and somebody might
yeah,
present it a different way that might be easier for somebody else. It's a good
right.
point.
And then somebody may have home built cages, and somebody else has got, you know, big fancy metal cages, you
Right.
know, that they bought from Rebecca or something. And so, you know, I mean, it's just, and everywhere in between. Like, so I kind of loosened the reins a little bit and just let you guys do your thing. And it's come together quite nicely. I'm quite proud of how it's come together.
That's
So
awesome.
everybody's going to leave with the information they need to be confident. And that's actually our conclusion to the whole weekend. It's only like a 3-minute video, but it's, you know, we just want you to leave with confidence that you can go do this.
Mhm. And I think that's one of the things we kind of struggle with our show is presenting information but not making beginners feel overwhelmed. Like, quail aren't that hard.
They're not.
Yeah.
They really aren't. But there's also stuff that you should know, because if there's a learning curve. You can start it with some knowledge and do great. Or if you don't do some things, like for example, if you don't use a chick waterer and you try, a bowl, that's not going to work very well for baby chicks.
Mm-mm.
So, you can learn some stuff, but we also don't want people to feel overwhelmed. And I like the way that you have Quail Mania set up, where you can click on topics that interest you, and or if you have a favorite speaker, you're interested in what that person has to say, and they can kind of go through it, especially if they get the pass throughout the year at their own pace, instead of trying to, swallow it all at once.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot of information. So if you are new to quail, it would probably behoove you to buy the all access pass so you can watch it and come back and reference it. But if you're starting off with eggs, the incubation masterclass kind of goes through the entire process and doesn't just say, well, put them in there and 17 days later you get popcorn quail coming out. It literally walks you day by day and what's going on and how big they are, and at the end, what could have gone wrong, and let's troubleshoot it together. And that comes in the past, so you've got as much information as you can incubating wise to start off with, and then you can go back to the videos and reference, okay, well, this is how I brewed them, and now this is what Rebecca said I should select for, and then, you know what I mean? And then kind of work through it again as you go through the process. I mean, you could take notes, but I mean, you could do it without it, but for the price of it, I mean, why? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, to have access to it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the ebooks, that's coming with it and the downloadables. One of the biggest questions I think we all get is, why can't I feed them, greens and seeds we find outside kind of stuff? And Heather Levine from the Backyard Chicken Summit is actually coming on there and talking about how to grow a garden to raise birds with, or to supplement, or whatever. So she's talking about that. So there's a lot of information on there. Of course, Carrie's talking about nutrition.
Cool.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So he's doing a handout or an ebook about that. I can't remember if it's a handout or an ebook. Yeah, it's a lot of information. See, I can't even keep it all straight. I couldn't even imagine, like, if you didn't know how to keep it straight. And I've been looking at it for months.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that the pass is the best way to go. So, like you said, with each step along the way, they can go back and watch whatever pertains to that step.
Yep. And then at the end of the year, if you just absolutely love quail and you want to be like us and spread the joy everywhere, then you can watch the business scaling videos at the end. But if you're like, this is too much poop and I'm feeding them all to the dogs, I'm watching Leah's video, I don't care about the business stuff, you can do that too.
What are you talking about? Quail don't poop.
So, yeah, you got to talk about poop. You can't just talk about quail. You got to talk about poop too.
Yeah, there's that. So, okay, you briefly mentioned that you have an incubation masterclass with your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit more about your podcast.
So the Poultry Nerds podcast, it doesn't just do quail. It does all of the poultry. So we do a lot of chicken, but we do some quail. And I am wrapping up a graduate level incubating class, and hopefully this week, actually. And so I'm taking all of that information that I'm learned from there and kind of condensed it down into what we need at our level. We don't need the commercial level stuff.
Sure.
And
that's
so,
kind of what those courses are geared towards, right?
Yeah, but those are the courses, where that's where you're going to get the information. That's where the money is. That's where you're
Sure.
studying stuff. And so then you got to take that and then kind of twist it just a little bit to fit what we're doing, right? And so that's the information that I've put in the master class. And the quail one, I think if you just went and bought it, it's $17.
Oh, wow.
And the chicken one's $27. I just want to know that you can add some zeros to that, and that's what I've paid for the information through the universities.
Yeah, I was really surprised when you said $17. That's really affordable.
Yeah. And then I just try to tell people, you spend more than that on the incubator and the eggs.
Yes.
So, it's $17. You want the eggs to hatch, right? So, but it's there. People want it. And it's part of the all access pass. And there's a lot of information in there. And you don't just have to take my word for it. I post all the studies and all the graphics and so you can read it yourself and try to find if I said something wrong, in there or something. But yeah, it's all in there, and it's pages and pages. Like, it's not something you can sit and go through in an hour. Like, it's a lot of information.
Okay, without giving away all your secrets, what have been some of the coolest things you've learned
in the class?
Yeah.
That's really nerdy.
Well,
we're both super nerdy, so
I think some of the coolest stuff that we can use as backyard people is they don't candle eggs. They weigh and they work their systems off of the weight loss of the eggs. And when I say they, we're talking commercial hatcheries and not like Meyer and Hoover and we're talking like Tyson,
Yeah.
But they're hatching upwards of 1 million chicks a week. Like, yeah. And they are everywhere.
I can't even imagine.
It is a lot of chickens. There's a lot of money put into this stuff. And those incubators some of them will hold 100 to 200,000 eggs. Like, they're walk-in rooms. And those incubators actually spend more time cooling than they do heating. So the coolest thing I really learned is that we're talking about chickens here, but you can transfer this information to a quail with the fractions.
Sure.
So a chicken is 21 days, right? So the first 7 days, you actually heat them to get the incubation process going. Okay. From day 7 to 14, they're kind of neutral. So they're not really heating them. They're they're not exothermic, but they're not endothermic anymore. They're kind of neutral. And the last 7 days, they actually have to cool them because the chick is so active and growing so rapidly that they're actually putting off more heat than the 100 degrees. And so they spend all of their time running the cool air through there and cooling them.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
That is wild.
So during hatch, they have to keep them cool because the respiration and their metabolism just heats up the space so quickly that it can actually overheat the slower to hatch ones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super nerdy. Like, I can get super nerdy on this stuff now. Like, way nerdy.
Okay, again, we're having lunch soon.
Yeah. Can I tag along?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring a laptop and we'll let you in. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. It is. So I'm almost done with the class, but the last section of it is all the in ovo technology and how the politics and the chick welfare and the environmentalists and the vegans are all kind of driving that. Mm-hmm. And it's actually not the chicken eaters that's driving all of that.
You made an interesting post on Facebook the other day about that,
Mm-hmm.
about how some of these laws that are being passed are having kind of unintended consequences.
Yep. So just like a blurb about it. So Germany was the first one to outlaw the male chick culling,
Okay.
grinding, killing the chicks, right? So the technology was in a run, like we've got to figure out what to do with this. This started years ago, and they outlawed it in 2022, but the race is still on because they still hadn't figured it out, right? Here in 2026, and now the other European countries are jumping on this bandwagon. But what happened was Germany said, okay, as of 2022, you're not gonna be able to kill these chicks anymore. So they've been trying to do the in ovo technology, the sexing, the dual purpose birds, they call them brother layers. Like, what can we raise the brothers to the layers? Because again, we're not talking about like the chicks that we buy. We're talking about layer houses and
Yeah.
commercial eggs that you buy at Walmart, those kind of things.
They have no need for those boys.
Right. So, let's study, can we get those boys up to weight, feed conversion costs, all of these different things. Well, what they found was in the processing houses, the birds were smaller. So it didn't fit the technology of the Cornish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The feed conversion, they had to grow another 5 weeks. And so the monetary of the
Mhm.
money to the feed, right? So they've got to work those numbers. It always comes back to money, right? Well, in order to do this, we've got to add cost to the eggs. So cause the eggs to go up in price 2 to 4 euro cents per egg, right?
Wow, yeah.
So now they put these eggs in the supermarket, coal-free eggs, right? Guess what happened? The shoppers, they didn't buy them. They bought the cheaper eggs, right?
Of course.
They didn't care.
Right.
Because it's not the chicken eaters driving this,
Yeah.
right? It's the vegans. So
Who aren't going to be eating eggs anyway.
Yeah.
right. And so they were the Netherlands. Don't get me started on the Netherlands, but we'll touch on the Netherlands here for a second. So the Netherlands is the biggest importer of chicken and eggs into Germany. And they said, well, they have to be coal free also because, we're making this law, right? So the Netherlands passed a law, said, okay, we're not killing male chicks anymore over here either. But they also passed a law that said we're not raising brother layers over here either because that extra 4 or 5 weeks of raising them puts too much CO2 into the environment, and we want to be the leaders in the environment race. And so we can't do that either.
So what do they do?
So Austria says, I'll send you eggs. And they were sending them over there really cheap. And the Germans went, oh my God. So they raised taxes, import taxes on these Austrian eggs. It's because they had to try to sell the no coal eggs.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, but doesn't driving them back and forth, doesn't that produce emissions and stuff?
I would think
Let's just
so.
think about this for a second. So these Innovo machines, they're the size of houses. We're not talking about a suitcase here.
Yeah.
We're talking about something that's probably 100 feet long. And it's sucking the electricity. It's an MRI machine for all practical purposes, and it's sucking it, right? And then you've got all the people driving their little diesel trucks to come work on it,
Yeah.
and the electric infrastructure to run this thing and then build it and then haul it in there and then maintenance, and where's all this stuff coming from? It's kind of like what do we have here? The solar fields or the big wind turbines,
Yep.
It's just feel good stuff, at the end of the day. So they're trying to stop the chick calling is the point, right? So they take the male chicks, they throw them in the grinder, they make pig food out of them, right? What do you think they do with the male eggs? They throw them in the grinder and make pig food out of them.
Right.
I mean, I understand that you take a cute little chick and you throw it in a grinder. That's gross, right? I understand that. But let's be practical for 1 second. Let's just take our little minds off of it for 1 second. How long does it take to die if you're thrown in a grinder?
Yeah, not very long, I wouldn't think.
Half of a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, but if, I don't know. So anyway, just food for thought. But it's all being driven by politics.
Wow.
hmm So the in ovo, there's 3 different kinds of in ovo. There's MRI, there's a liquid-based one. So the liquid-based one is kind of like a pregnancy test. They use the amnion fluid and they test it. Well, to do that one, they have to have a laser. So you want to talk about wasting natural resources. So they take a laser and they cut a 1/2 millimeter size hole. After they x-ray, they x-ray it first to find the blood cells. Then they cut the hole. Then they have a syringe that draws out, I don't know, 3 drops of fluid or something, and it goes over here and it tests it. And then they take pure beeswax and cover up the hole. So not only do we have all the electric, the little dudes driving down the road in their diesel trucks to work on it, now we have to have all these bees to make beeswax to plug up all the little holes, right? And then guess what? It's still a percent wrong. No matter, and you're talking about 1 million eggs a week. 1% is what? 10,000?
Wow.
100,000? I can't remember. What's the math there? 100,000? So guess what they're allowed to do if they're wrong?
Grind the chicks.
grinder.
Wow.
So yeah. And where's the beeswax coming from? They're stealing from the bees to save the chicks? I mean, Leah's got bees. Is it hard to get beeswax? Leah, is it hard to get bees?
Easy.
See? And are the bees
It's a
happy
whole
about
process.
it? Are the bees happy about it?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Are there
I feel
bees
like we need to do
harmed?
an entire show just on all of
There's
this.
always bees.
Listen, Rebecca, you know me well enough to know that the tinfoil hat is real. Okay, so but this isn't even tinfoil hat. This is just Google it and read it yourself kind of stuff. I mean, but people need to use their brains, you know. So yeah,
That's fascinating. It really is.
The third, there I said there was 3 options. So there's MRI, there's the liquid. The third one, which really ticks me off, is the CRISPR. They're changing the genetics.
Oh.
And Canada and Israel is leading that right now.
So they're taking the males. Are they changing them to females?
So that's in my next class. I'll know more tomorrow, so you can pause it and I'll come back tomorrow. But yeah, so somehow they're changing that, and I think what it is the if I saw the paperwork correctly, I think that the males like show up blue on the x-ray or something. It's changing something inside.
Oh, okay, got it.
So when they x-ray them, they can see them.
Show up. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're all pig food.
Yeah.
So what have we really changed?
Wow.
Yeah. And you know what the driving force is of all of this?
Huh.
What age do they feel pain?
Got it.
That's the big question that they're all talking about. All over the globe. That's the big question. Is it day 7 or is it day 9? That's what they're down to.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm all for humane as much as possible.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But at some point, like you were pointing out, how many other resources do we use? Wow. Yeah, that's a whole lot.
It is. And it's all to drive the machine of the Cornish cross is really what it is.
Yeah.
It's money is what it is. And so you know what they ended up doing with the chickens out of Germany that nobody would buy? They shipped them to Africa. those people eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did with them.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
See, y'all
That was
read
a
my
fun little
post and you're like,
divergence.
what? It's hard to write all that stuff down, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so switching gears.
Yeah.
tell
Tinfoil
us,
hat off and coming
yeah.
down. Okay.
Tell us about Beyond the Egg.
Okay, so Beyond the Egg is, of course, you know that I sell the egg foam, right?
Yeah,
And
we're
I
gonna talk about
actually,
that too.
yep. So I have the egg foam. I have everything you need for shipping eggs and birds, actually. And so I would get a lot of questions or see people using them wrong. One of the biggest things, and it kind of boggled my brain a little bit, was people would buy the foam and then cut it up. And I never really, yes, see, same look.
What?
Don't understand. So why did
That makes
you?
sense. I mean, it fits perfectly in the box. Like,
Well, they were trying to save money, and so they cut it up. And okay, well, anyway, but then it's going to slosh around in the box. There's no
Yeah.
amount of packing that's going to make it not slosh around. So anyway, so the questions kept coming to me, like things that I would have never thought about, kind of like raising quail. We do it every day, so we kind of forget, how we got started and the simple stuff. And so it got me thinking, well, you know what? Instead of just repeating myself 87 times a day, I'll just make videos, right? Well, I was going to do it for free. I'm going to tell all my story now. So I was going to just put it up there for free. And David, ever the practical person, he's like, if you do that, they're going to take all your information and then they're going to go over there and buy the materials. I'm like, okay. So I charge for the class, right?
Okay.
And it has expanded now as people still ask more questions. I just make more videos. And so now it's not only how to package the eggs, and it includes all eggs, button eggs, all the way up to turkey eggs, how to do live boxes, how does
Cool.
social media fit into email marketing. I did one the other day. Somebody asked me, how do you put 24 eggs in a box? So I did another video on that. So as people ask questions, I'm posting more, and I'm trying to post one per month. February will be how to pick a payment processor and how to set it up. When do you
Cool.
need to go to a website? All of these things that, we figured out as we were
Yeah.
going, me and you kind of like all the time, how do we do this? I don't know. But we figured it out. And so now we're just basically giving that information away. But I didn't still really want to charge for it. I really just wanted to help people. So the compromise with David and all the time I spent putting it together was I give a coupon in the class towards anything on the Egg Foam website. So basically get the class for free with your first purchase of materials.
Okay.
So you get all the information and the materials that way.
And I kind of want to point out, it is totally okay to charge for your time putting all of that together and the knowledge and the fact that somebody is going to be able to start right, from the very beginning versus how many different ways did we all try? Like,
so many mistakes.
so many
I think we
mistakes.
mailed stuff to each other.
Oh yeah.
Like, did that work? I don't know. What do we do? Or drove around throwing things out of the gator,
Yeah, I mean, I know that you've done experiments with dropping boxes with eggs in them, and how well does the foam hold up and stuff like that. So, I that amount of time and knowledge is valuable, and
It
I
is.
would rather pay for that knowledge and get it all in one spot, and take rather than sift through all of those comments on Facebook, like we talked about, that may or may not be true, and some people don't even own quail and whatever. I think that this idea of we shouldn't be charging for our knowledge is a little silly.
I don't disagree. You know, I mean, the websites cost money, our time
Yeah,
costs money. I mean, kind of
you
like Quail Mania. I mean, Quail Mania is free, but I needed the sponsors, right,
sure.
to pay for the because the podcast, you know, the podcast, you know, costs money.
Yeah,
So yeah, so the sponsors helped cover the startup costs, but the All Access Pass makes it kind of break even,
sure.
almost, you know. So yeah, it's not, nothing's free, you know. I
No.
mean, if you spent, this is how I look at it. If you spent, let's say, 20 hours online scratching for information on how to do something, what is your time worth?
Yeah.
Right? So the Beyond the Egg is $57 for lifetime access. So every time I add a new video, you get more information,
That's
right?
awesome.
And you can text me. I mean, they've all the people text me and they're like, "Oh, I messed this up. What did I do wrong?" But what's more fun is the ones that text me with pictures of them holding their first box. You know, I
Oh, that's
did it, you
awesome.
know. And so that's always fun, right? But yeah, I mean, I just want to help people, really. I mean, you can tell all this stuff is really just to help people.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I totally understand the whole let's make videos or let's make a website or whatever to help educate people because we do get a lot of the same questions over and over and over. And that's part of why Two Chicks came about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
it's so much
Exactly
easier to,
why. Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of times, especially answering, questions on Facebook, I just link to Two Chicks because I can either be super busy and give, a partial answer, maybe not even paying attention, or I can give you a whole video on that topic.
it
So
was funny. It's funny. I got asked the other day about um the feeders, the frozen feeders on my Facebook,
yeah.
and because I do those too, right? And um I was like, she said, "Did you do a podcast about frozen feeders?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute. I can't remember." And then Chantel comes on there and she's like, "Yes, you did. Here's the link to it."
Oh, Chantel is great about dropping
Amazing.
links.
Yeah.
And here I am while that's going on. I'm on Chat GPT. Did Poultry Nerds do a podcast? I can't remember. I mean, we talk about this stuff so much. I don't remember where we talk about it.
Well, and you've got how many episodes are you up to on Poultry Nerds? Because you've been
Like
doing this for a while.
104, 105 or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot.
So it's kind of hard to remember what you did cover after a while.
Yeah. I mean, and then you can cover it again a year later because you're going to say it differently.
Yeah.
Right. Or new information's coming up. Yep.
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 Yeah, exactly. So
Okay, so we briefly touched on eggfoam.com, but let's dive into that a little bit more. What is that?
eggfoam.com is where you buy all of your egg shipping needs products.
But
You know,
wait,
I need to
there's
practice
more.
that more, right? Like drop down and go for it. So when you want to ship hatching eggs, do you want to spend all day wrapping them in saran wrap and putting them in?
No.
I got some little button
Tissue
eggs one time in
paper
the mail
and
wrapped in
sort
saran wrap.
Oh my gosh.
I've received some real interesting
Pool
things.
noodles
Yep.
and bubble wrap. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you get to thinking, okay, people talk about like they put them in pool noodles and then they wrap them and tape them and blah blah blah. So let's just say this is your egg, right? And you're putting it in a pool noodle and you're wrapping it and you're taping it and what have you
Oh
done to the
gosh.
egg?
Yeah.
Think about that for a second, right?
Better
So
roller coaster.
you have egg foam, right? You have egg foam and you put the egg in. It's done. The egg didn't get sloshed and carried around and you know, it's just in there. And so that was first. So we had a need, me and you actually had a
Yeah.
need for a larger supply of foam. You know, we were shipping a lot and we couldn't really get the quantities that we needed. So, me being ever Jennifer took it upon myself to find it and did. And then David, being David, built me an entire warehouse to house said egg foam. And so now it has turned into a whole thing. And I actually get it manufactured here in the States.
Mhm.
And it comes here and then I ship it out to you to put your eggs in it. Somebody asked me the other day if it came ready with eggs in it, and I was like, well, that costs extra, but I can. So, but I mean, I can cover any size from buttons to quail to bantam chickens to standard chickens, and I mean, all of it. And then I'm selling boxes now and live shipping boxes, chick boxes, breeder boxes. I even sell some tape and some packing peanuts. I mean, just pretty much anything you want, it's all on there.
One-stop shop.
It is, I mean, it's everything that I use. I don't sell anything that I won't use because, first of all, I don't want to buy anything and tell you to buy it that I don't use it. And second, I don't want to get stuck with something I don't use. It may take me 37 years to use all this egg foam, but I can use it eventually. Right? So yeah, that's where it came from.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I hear that you guys are going to hit me up with some surprise questions.
Yeah, we've got some surprise questions.
Okay, hit me.
Okay, so the first question is from Holy Quail. They're questions from someone who says they don't currently own quail as a business, just a hobby.
Move closer.
Puddles. Are you gonna stop it, Rebecca?
We have to train Leah to come closer.
Yeah.
When your ladies get too old to lay, is it better to let them age with their cubby they spent their whole lives with, or move them to an old lady pen to live out their days in peace without roosters?
So do you have a retirement pen, Jennifer?
The freezer. Yeah, I don't have space for retirement quail. I do have 2 old hens, like chicken hens. They're like 12 now. But no, the quail, they get cycled out. So yeah, they go.
Yep. Same here. I do have my original chicken breeders, and they're retired to just a big old pen where they wander around with emus. But as far as the quail, no, they get donated to wildlife rehab. They serve a purpose.
But nothing's wasted.
Yeah, we're also bigger scale.
They go in the crock pot.
Yeah, we're bigger scale. If we were small, if we had a dozen birds, sure, why not? But I couldn't afford the feed to have a retirement home for quail.
No, freezer. They serve a purpose.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess, and if you're in a hobby situation, I mean, you keep them to the end of their lives, but
yeah,
no. Mm-mm. Yep. All right. Next, we don't want to talk about those ones. Let's talk about something else.
I'm asking Jennifer this because I feel like she once had an opinion on this, but I can't find it. Am I at the point where I believe my tiny backyard cubby can replenish itself by hatching their own babies? I've been very successful with them hatching their own. Is broodiness an actual trait that can be bred into quail?
Well, Jennifer has an opinion on most everything. It's not always right, but I will voice an opinion. Broodiness in an animal, a poultry, is an inheritable trait. So for my chickens, one, I leave it in there, one, I breed against it. Mm-hmm. So it is an inheritable trait. I keep my quail on wire. I would think that would deter a quail instinctually from being broody, because that's how you break a chicken. So I'm kind of talking through this myself. So a chicken, to break the broodiness, you would put her up on wire to keep her body temperature cooler, right? So if you're keeping the quail on the wire, it would stand to reason that they wouldn't get broody because they can't heat their bodies up to be broody. But if you kept them aviary style, that would allow it. So if you had a broody quail and hatched her eggs, I would think it would stand to reason you could breed that trait into a line of quail. Does that reasoning sound realistic?
Yeah,
It does. Yeah.
I think also the fact that, like, in my situation, I'm not ever going to have a broody quail because I have egg rollout trays.
Mm-hmm.
They're not able to sit on the eggs. Although I do sometimes have ones that try to reach and grab them and pull them back in the
I've had
cage.
that too. Yeah. Like, give it back.
What is that?
So and I do think that that is a key to broodiness, is actually having some eggs there to sit on.
Mm-hmm.
So again, if it's an aviary style situation and there's a few eggs left, yeah, that might help trigger that a little bit more. Personally, with our situation, I don't really want my birds to go broody because they stop laying. So,
Yeah,
and I need those
exactly.
eggs.
Which is why I'm breeding it out of the breasts.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I can understand too, if you're a homesteader or have kids or just want to see how cute it would be for a quail to raise their own babies. Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen people have lots of them.
All right, what else you got?
All right. What do you do with the powder that the birds leave in the feeder?
Powdered food.
I don't eat it. No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, so I have switched to a mash, so it's all powder at this point. If you are feeding crumbles or pellets, and then there's dust at the bottom, which is what I'm assuming you're talking about, if you don't put more food in there, they will peck that trough clean.
Yep.
Like, they will clean it. They will clean the fly specks off of it if you leave it long enough. So just let them eat it. I mean, or put it back in there, you know. But mine have switched to a mash, so everything's dust to them.
Got
So,
it.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll scoop it up. Is it possible to breed for egg size?
Yes, it is not as easy as people think that it is, because birds of different ages lay different sizes of eggs and eggshell thicknesses, and there's so many variations through a hen's life that it would be very, very difficult to do. But yes, if you worked with a line for many years, you could. Yes.
And to add to that, thinking about like structure. If you're not also selecting for the proper body structure for the hen to be able to pass a larger egg, then you end up with egg binding and prolapse. So you have to, like, as you're selecting larger eggs to put in your incubator, you also have to select for the proper body structure.
I do. And see, you guys have hit me up with these questions. I'm going to hit you up with something.
Cool.
So I have a working theory that the egg size is actually inheritable from the male side.
Sure.
And the reason I think that is, you two know, and most everybody knows, that I keep an auto sexing cage, right? And so I use the pharaoh hens with the Egyptian roosters, right? And of course, they're all large eggs because my pharaohs lay large eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I use those hens, those Egyptian hen offspring, in my regular Egyptian line, right? They all lay regular eggs. I mean, over the years, they're starting to get larger, but they never lay the egg of the pharaoh line. They always lay the egg size of the Egyptian line.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
So I have that working theory. I haven't worked it to the point to figure out how to prove it because I'm not sure that you can prove it. But it's a working theory. And I've had this particular line of birds, 5 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And the auto-sexing, 3 or 4 years at this point. So, it's not like it's new blood. It's the same birds.
Right.
And the size of the Egyptian eggs may be incrementally larger, but still nowhere near the size of the Pharaoh eggs. Yeah. So it's just a working theory.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Haha. You guys are stumped.
Would curly toes or webbed toes be an incubation issue?
Honestly, I've never seen webbed toes here, right? Curly toes, I would. I think it could be an incubation issue. It could be somewhat genetics. That's one of those. Did the nutrition make it pop? Did the incubator make it pop? We don't really care. They've got it. They've got to go. Kind of the end of the point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if you've gotten the eggs from let's just say you got them from me. I don't get curly toes, right? And I've never seen web toes here. And so if you got eggs from me and you consistently were hatching curly toes, then that's an incubator issue.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got curly toes in your breeders and you're hatching curly toes, it's going to be inheritable or it's going to be incubator or both. Right? So we got to look at the whole line at that point.
Absolutely.
All right. Do the feathers of a quail have the same names as that of a chicken? Primary, secondary, coverts, etc.
I don't know. I'm assuming, but I'm just being honest. I really just don't know. I studied them for show for the chickens, but I've never studied the names of the feathers on the quail.
I've never really thought about it.
I never thought about it either.
Yes, primaries, we talk about wing primaries and coverts and stuff, but as far as all the rest, quail don't have hackles and they don't have saddle feathers. Like there's certain feathers that I know quail don't have that chickens do, but other than that, I don't know.
See, this was y'all's this is how good we are to each other. This was your opportunity to go, well, Jennifer doesn't know something, so we're going to come in here and tell. I'm just kidding. I just don't know. I never thought about it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Gonna have to look that one up or not.
Yep. Next.
All right. I don't really know if these questions align with what you're thinking. Oh, sorry, that's not a question. Let's see. Oh, here's one. Okay. Is it possible to stop a quail from being a bully? Once a bully, always a bully.
Bullying quail. Can you stop it? Well, I know of one good way to stop it.
Yeah, same. Yep, that's my favorite way too.
So, okay. So I think that question comes from somebody that has less quail than we do. So, I'm not trying to be crass and trying to laugh this off, but I put birds in a cage and I come back and if one is dead, I'm like, well, you weren't the top dog in that cage, were you? I'm not trying to be mean, but, at some point you've got to treat them like livestock or birds. They're not pets to us. I do go by there, I scratch heads and I talk to them while I'm feeding them and stuff, but I don't take them out and cuddle them. There is a video. Oh my God, did y'all see that video of me petting the Celadon rooster and people had a coronary? They're like, if you knew birds at all, you would never do that. I'm like, no, I don't know birds at all, right?
Have you even seen a bird, Jennifer?
I mean, this bird was just sitting here, and I was scratching it, and Kevin thought it was funny, and he took a video of it. Like, it stayed there for like 5 minutes. I was just petting its chest, and these people like tore me up. Like, you should do that. I mean,
How
you're
dare
squishing
you?
it. Like, it's so stressed. Don't do that. And I'm like, really? I mean, he was just sitting there.
Gotta be
So,
really stressed.
I mean, I am a person. I do like animals. That's why I do this. But I mean, I literally have thousands of birds. So all the birds are named sissies. Come on, sissies, I'm feeding you. You know, that's the girls. And the boys are like 5 and 347 and 212. They're tag numbers, you know. So I mean, so if you put them in there and they can't hold their own, did you really want them anyway? I don't know. In answer to your question, I mean, I know that sounds kind of crass, but I'm just being honest. But if I can't, this is how the best way to breed for temperament, right, Rebecca? If you can't even hold a bird long enough to sex it, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you can't even hold still long enough for me to sex you, it goes right in the barn floor, and I'll gather y'all up later, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
those
that's
ones that are breaking their wings, flapping and going crazy. No, don't
mm-mm,
need you. No,
mm-mm,
you know,
mm-mm.
but also to talk about the bully thing. Sometimes quail behavior is related to how they're kept. If there is too much room, and they're able to set up territories, well, then you could have a bullying situation because of that. If you have 4 roosters and 1 hen in a pen, well, that there might be an issue there.
Yep.
So, environmental factors can certainly lead to behavior issues, and that's where it's always good to look at those factors and make sure that you have crossed your T's and dotted your I's. And then, but one thing that I've done with my pens, of course, I've already weeded out all those factors. I have the right ratios, right number of birds, all that stuff. If I look into a pen and I see everybody is bald except for one bird,
That bird goes.
yeah, that bird's gone. If I see somebody that's squawking and chasing everybody around and being a pain in the butt, that bird's gone. You know, um, that's just stressing everybody else out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I will tell you one thing that I did change about 15, 18 months or so ago is I run hatch and time cages, and I had them divided, right? The dividers in there.
mhm.
I took all the dividers out about 15, 18 months ago, still left, the 1 to 4 or 5 ratio,
Yeah.
but then they could pick. I think you're going to be my boyfriend today, or I'm going to go live on the West Wing over here
Sure.
today. And that seemed to alleviate a lot of stress. Same amount
Yeah.
of birds for me, and my fertility went up. So, and my problems went down. So they still all huddle up in one end, it seems
You're right.
like.
They do.
But,
They do that all the time.
yeah, but they have their choice, they don't have to. So, yeah.
I've done a video before where, I was I don't know, taking a picture of a bird drinking out of a waterer, and all of the birds had gone to that end of the cage, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're jam packing those birds in there." And I was like, "No, you don't see the 3 feet of empty cage space next to them."
Or you go out there to get eggs and they're all on one end.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
to lay in this corner. Okay.
Any
All
other
right. Yeah.
questions?
That was it. That was all.
That was it. Okay. Well, um, okay, I think that's all the questions that we have for tonight. Since we have some coupon codes for Quail Mania, those are super easy. And I like Jennifer's idea. We'll have a little contest, little friendly
How
contest
can we
here.
track the contest, though?
So those codes are Rebecca, if you want my code, or Leah, if you want Leah's code. Super easy.
I want some cheerleader outfits.
Yeah.
Rebecca,
But Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us
Yes,
tonight.
thanks for being on. It's been fun.
Sure.
So we'll
Anytime.
definitely have to do this again, because I want to wait till you get done with your class, and I want to hear some more of this really cool.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
want to pick your brain.
All the usefully useless information.
I just want to hear about it. This cool stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you for joining us,
Make sure to like and subscribe.
and have a great night.
Bye.